तो महापुराण की जय। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदाई। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदाई। जय जशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। जय जशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा माधव राधे। जय राधा गोविंद राधे। गोविंद राधे। जय श्री श्री राधा गोविंद देव की जय। जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीमद्-भागवतम महापुराण की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So today we will read Canto 2, Chapter 8, Text 28. प्राह भागवतं नाम प्राह भागवतं नाम प्राह भागवतं नाम पुराणं ब्रह्म संहितं पुराणं ब्रह्म संहितं प्राह भागवतं नाम प्राह भागवतं नाम पुराणं ब्रह्म संहितं पुराणं ब्रह्म संहितं ब्रह्मणे भगवत प्रोक्तं ब्रह्मणे भगवत प्रोक्तं ब्रह्मकल्प उपागते ब्रह्मकल्प उपागते प्राह भागवतं नाम पुराणं ब्रह्म संहितं ब्रह्मणे भगवत प्रोक्तं ब्रह्मकल्प उपागते। प्राह भागवतं नाम पुराणं ब्रह्म संहितं ब्रह्मणे भगवत प्रोक्तं ब्रह्मकल्प उपागते प्राह भागवतं नाम पुराणं ब्रह्म संहितं ब्रह्मणे भगवत प्रोक्तं ब्रह्मकल्प उपागते प्राह. He said, Bhagavatam, the science of the personality of Godhead, Nama, of the name, Puranam, the supplement of the Vedas, Brahma Samhitam, just in pursuance of the Vedas, Brahmane, unto Lord Brahma, Bhagavat Proktam, was spoken by the personality of Godhead. Brahma Kalpe, the millennium in which Brahma was first generated. Upagate, just in the beginning. Translation. He began to reply to the inquiries of Maharaj Parikshit by saying that the science of the personality of Godhead was spoken first by the Lord himself to Brahma, when he was first born. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the supplementary Vedic literature, and it is just in pursuance of the Vedas. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the science of the personality of Godhead. The impersonalist always tries to mispresent the personal picture of the Lord, not knowing the science of this great knowledge. And Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is in pursuance of the Vedas and scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead. To learn this science, one should take shelter of the representative of Sri Sukadev and follow in the footsteps of Maharaj Parikshit, without foolishly attempting to interpret, thereby committing a great offense at the feet of the Lord. The dangerous ways of interpretations by the non-devotee class of men have played havoc in understanding the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And the careful student should be always alert in this matter, if he at all wants to learn the science of Godhead. Om Jnana-Vrindasya Jnanandara-Salakya Chakshura-militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Kam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langaite Prapadam Vande Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatruvasya Pringura Sindhumevacha Patita Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Mahapurana ki Jai. So, it's very important chapter. As we all know, Parikshit Maharaj has been cursed by inexperienced, immature boy who misused his Brahmajyoti power. He misused his power to curse the king, the pious king, the great devotee of Lord, who did not deserve to be punished such a heavy way. Now, this boy, Shringi, was playing with the boys, young, children, to show off. He heard, he did not even witness that king put the dead snake around his father's neck, right? He did not witness, he did not see this. Somebody just went to him and said, oh, the king put the dead snake around the neck of your father. And Shamakrishi, he was in a trance. He did not know. He did not even notice that the king was there in his hut, in his hermitage. He just was in trance. And the boy was playing with the other children, his friends. And some passers-by saw this and told him, and he got angry. And without thinking, what will be the consequence of this curse? He just cursed, took the water in the hand and cursed to show up the friends that, look, I have a power, I can do anything I want. And he cursed that the one who insulted my father will die. The seventh day, the Takshak will come, the Takshak, the dangerous, venomous, the big snake will come and bite. Now, the king went home. He was also disturbed. He also realized that he did something not right to this sage. He realized it, but that time he was thirsty, he was fatigued, and he didn't know, he didn't realize what he's doing to this sage, and he committed this, insignificant, act. But still, to insult the sage is a big. So he was also restless, went back to palace, he was restless. And here, the boy came to Śyāmakriṣi, the father, and started crying. And then Śyāmakriṣi, he opened his eyes, and he saw the dead snake, and he knew the whole situation, what happened. So he asked the boy, why are you crying so much? I know. And then he figured out, and boy also said what he did. So Śyāmakriṣi as a father and as a sage, he said, yes, you didn't do a right thing. You misused your power. King Parikshit is our great emperor. In his kingdom, everyone was happy. They lived safely, opened their doors 24 hours, no robbers and no thieves can enter, even the fly could not be hurt. Very great devotee of Lord Krishna. And his forefathers, everybody, Pandavas, and they were great devotees of Lord Krishna. So Śyāmakriṣi, he prayed to Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, that whatever has happened, whatever my son has done, please forgive him. Please forgive me also as a father, he realized. And then he told one of his, men that go to palace and just inform the king what has happened, because king didn't know. King just left. He went to his palace, but he knew that something is not right, and so he came. He just informed the king whatever happened. Now, Parikshit Maharaj took it, no anger, no, I will punish that boy, why he did to me, nothing. He just took this as a Krishna's arrangement. He detached from all the material desires. The big palaces, servants and ministers and wives and children, wasn't easy to just give up, right? But he did. He did not want to die in his palace. He wanted to go to holy place, the bank of Ganges river, holy river. And he requested Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami, he recited Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Not anybody else. Sukadeva Goswami. So first Bhagavatam was spoken by Supreme Personality of Godhead to Brahma, the first creator. From Brahma spoke to Narada. Narada spoke to Vyasa Muni. And Vyasa Muni spoke to Sukadeva Goswami. And Sukadeva Goswami is now going to recite the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, all the Leelas, all the Kathas of Supreme Personality of Godhead. 7 days. At least King Parikshit knew 7 days, that 7th day he will be dead. So he gave up eating, drinking water, gave up all his opulent dresses and ornaments, just a simple, clothing, and he went to a holy place, the bank of holy river, Ganges. All his family, everybody tried to stop him. Children, wives and children and ministers and everybody, king's men, everybody. But then King Parikshit already detached from this material life. And he crowned his son Janmejay, and then he went to holy place where all the sages, headed by Sutta Goswami, all the kings, everybody heard this news, and they all went to bless King Parikshit and witness his death. 7 days Sukadeva Goswami was reciting this Bhagavatam, and King Parikshit, even before he was, the Takshak, the snake, bit him, he already was, his soul was liberated. His body was there, flamed, but the soul was already went and merged with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, Maharaj Parikshit had so many inquiries, so many questions, and and the Sukadeva Goswami was reciting this Bhagavatam, the science of God, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, from disciplic succession, from Lord himself. Give this knowledge to Brahma. Brahma was the firstborn, not out of the womb, but from the Supreme Personality of Godhead's navel. Then from Brahma, Narada learned, from Narada, Vyas, and from Vyas give this knowledge to Sukadeva Goswami. And now Sukadeva Goswami is not an ordinary saying. Sukadeva Goswami, now 7 days, he recited all the leelas of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, we are so fortunate, Srila Prabhupada, not only 7 days, but he established that all these temples, all over the world, 8 o'clock in the morning, there is a Bhagavatam class. To listen to Bhagavatam or to read the Bhagavatam is devotion. That's bhakti. So everyone should read or listen Bhagavatam. Katha, Krishna Katha. Bhagavatam is all the leelas, and also the devotees like Prahlad, Dhruva Maharaj, all the devotees, they had surrendered to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now tomorrow we are having a big celebration, Gaur Purnima, appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, I wanted to share some of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya, he started this Yuga Dharma, Hari Ram Sankirtan. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram eva kevalam, kalo nasta kalo. Kali Yuga, in Kali Yuga, just chant, offenseless chant. Chant. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started this Harinam, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, over 500 years, 534 years ago in Nadia and Yuga Avatar, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sankirtan movement. Now he started Sankirtan movement, now Sankirtan movement spread it all over the world by the disciple of succession. All the gurus follow the footsteps of your guru, and Srila Prabhupada brought this movement to the Western world, around the globe. Srila Prabhupada at the age of 70, he took this mission very seriously. Instruction from Srila Prabhupada's Guru Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. Say you have to preach. Simple way, chant Hare Krishna, follow the 4 regulatory principles and become the devotee and surrender and become a servant of all personality of Godhead. Is that difficult? No. Maybe in the, it may be in the beginning it's difficult, but that once you became the full-fledged devotee, that's your life. Krishna is your life. And devotees association is very important. Even reading the Bhagavatam in association of devotees. So, tomorrow we are going to have a big celebration here. So, whoever wants to come to the temple, please go on website and follow the guidelines. Those who wants to come and be a part of this big celebration. So tomorrow is the Gaur Purnima, the full moon day of Falgun, is celebrated as Sri Gaur Purnima Mahamotsav, and also it's holy. Mahaprabhu was born on Holi. Holi, that was the day when he was born. There was a lunar eclipse also, and a very auspicious day. On this sacred day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this world for the purpose of delivering the fallen souls of this age, Kali Yuga. He inaugurated his Nama Sankirtan, congregational chanting of the holy names of Krishna. So this, the Nam Sankirtan movement and spread love of God throughout India and beyond. Lord Chaitanya tasted the highest love possible, Shri Radha's Mahabhav, and distributed the four loving mellows of devotional service to God: servitude, friendship, parenthood, and conjugal love. He is famous as Sri Gauranga, the golden avatar and divine incarnation of Radha and Krishna combined. So this year, tomorrow, is the 530th anniversary of the Lord's appearance. So tomorrow will be 530 years. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descends to propagate the chanting of the holy name and spread love of God. Although this is true, this is but the external reason for the Lord's incarnation. And here one other reason, the confidential reason for the Lord's appearance. The Lord's desire to appear was born from two reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God, prema ras. Love of God, that is prema ras. Prema ras. Prema means love, And he wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction, that is called Ragamarg. Thus, he is known as supremely jubilant and as the most merciful of all. Lord Krishna desired to taste the limitless nectarian mellows of the love possessed by one of his multitude of loving damsels, Sri Radha. And so he has assumed the form of Lord Caitanya. He has tasted that love with hiding, his own dark complexion with an effulgent yellow color. May that Lord Caitanya confer upon us his grace. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita 1, 4, 5 and 6, that 15 and 16 and 275. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared in Mayapur, West Bengal, 1486. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the birthday was 1486 until 1534. He was named Nimai. Why he was named Nimai? You know, under the tree of Neem tree. And Vishwambar, maintainer of the universe. The letter after every sign of great personality was seen in his astrological chart. As a small boy, Nimai would often cry and could only be appeased when the women of the house continually chanted. What did they chant? Haribo. So when the women chanted Haribol, Nimai will be quiet. As a young boy, Vishwambar was exceedingly beautiful, bright and beloved by all. He attended Sanskrit school for 2 years at the age of 8. And self-study after that. When he was 10 years old, Vishwambar's older brother left home to take sannyas, and Jagannath Mishra passed away. Jagannath Mishra is Nimai's father. Several months later, from age 11, the Lord began teaching Sanskrit and preaching Vaishnavism. He married Lakshmi-Devī at age 14 and became known as one of the best scholars of Nadia. He earned a good livelihood teaching in East Bengal, but fortunately his wife died while he was away. Vishwambar consoled his mother by moving back to Nadia and marrying his second wife, Vishnupriya-Devi. The Lord then defeated the renowned scholar Keshav Kashmiri and earned a reputation as the most important Pandit of his day. He was affectionately known as Nimai Pandit and had a great number of students and followers. At age 16, Nimai Pandit travelled to Gaya with his students and received initiation from Srila Ishwar Puri. He got his first initiation from Srila Ishwar Puri. Upon his return to Nadia, everyone noticed a great change in the Lord, as he would constantly chant the names of Krishna and swoon in ecstasy. It was during this time that Vishwambar inaugurated his Sankirtan movement in the streets of Nadia and held kirtan in the homes of great Vaishnavas such as Sri Advaitacharya, Srivas and Chandrasekhar. He infused everyone with Krishna Bhakti and even converted non-believers such as Jagai and Madai, the Chandkazi and many others. This continued until age 24, when the Lord decided to take sannyas. At the age of 24, he decided to take the sannyas for the purpose of expanding his preaching. He received sannyas initiation from Sri Keshava Bharati Goswami in the town of Katwa and was awarded the name Sri Krishna Caitanya. After taking sannyas, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu relocated to Jagannath Puri in Odisha and established his Sankirtan movement there. He converted Puri's greatest scholar, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, along with hundreds of others. He then decided to tour South India, where he similarly spread his message of chanting and love of God. He cured the leper Vasudev, met Ramanand Rai, liberated the 7 tal trees, converted the family of Venkata Bhatta, including the young boy Gopala Bhatta, discovered the Kurma Puran and 5th chapter of Sri Brahma Samhita, and empowered the saint known as Tukaram. Lord Chaitanya visited all the major temples and converted many Buddhists, Jains and Mayavadis to Vaishnavanism. By the age of 27, Lord Chaitanya returned to Puri and continued preaching there. Maharaj Prataprudra, the king of Odisha, surrendered at the Lord's lotus feet, giving all credence to his bhakti movement. Every year at the Rath Yatra festival, Lord Chaitanya organized great chanting parties and exhibited the most amazing displays of ecstasy. His dearmost associates from Bengal would attend, and Odisha was swept up in a great bhakti revival. At age 28, the Lord desired to visit Vrindavan, but got only as far as Malda in Bengal. During this time, the Lord met Sri Rupa and Sanatan at Ramakeli, and they would later become his chief disciples. Lord Chaitanya successfully reached Vrindavan. And okay, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, okay. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and returned to Puri. After Lord then sent, okay, so he met Sanatan, and the Lord then sent Sanatan to Vrindavan and returned to Puri. From his 31st year on, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived continually at Jagannath Puri in the home of Kasi Mishra, accompanied by principal followers such as Swarup Manandarai, Sri Gadadhar, Paramananda Puri and others. The Lord experienced great devotional ecstasy and his followers worried he would either injure himself or die. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left this world at age of 48 by entering into the Tota Gopinath deity during a particularly deep and joyous kirtan. His teachings and movement have since expanded around the globe. and are predicted to increase for into the future. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. So, tomorrow we will be celebrating Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaur Purnima. Tomorrow is full moon day, and tomorrow is also Holi. And tomorrow also it says that when Prahlad Maharaj's father wanted to kill him, right? Because Prahlad Maharaj was a great devotee of Lord. And the demon Hiranyakashipu didn't like that. So he tried everything to kill, but Supreme Personality of Godhead always protected him. And so tomorrow, Holi means Hiranyakashipu had a sister. Her name was Holika. And she had a boon that she never will die in, like there is a fire, she will be saved. She had some kind of boon, and some chadar she wears, and then she will never die in fire. So she spoke to her brother Hiranyakashipu, the demon, that, okay, you know, I'll take this boy in my lap and I will sit in the fire. You just, ignite the fire and, he will die. So Holika, aunt, Hiranyakashipu's sister and Prahlad's aunt. That is the day Holi. She sat on the fire with Prahlad in her lap, and somehow the chadar she was wearing flew away and covered Prahlad. And Prahlad was saved, and she died. See, the protection, devotee. Prahlad was a great devotee. Prahlad was tortured in everything. In the boiling oil, in all the serpents, among the serpents they threw him, and they threw him from the cliff. They tried to burn, putting him on the fire, right? But no, he's strong, he surrendered. And Krishna, when you surrender, your anxieties are gone, no matter what happens. It's Krishna's, all personality of Godhead is Krishna's responsibility. The moment you surrender, you are free. But surrender means really surrender. It's not just sake of, okay, no, I have material desire. Okay, you can have material desire, nothing wrong is there. Okay, you have to earn to support your, or if you are grahastha, you have to support your family, but never forget Krishna. Chant, your home, if you are grahastha, you can make your home like heaven. You raise your children Krishna consciousness, and then your life will be sublime. Material, Srila Prabhupada always said, okay, in the beginning, the spiritual life may be little difficult, not impossible, difficult to adjust the transcendental spiritual life. But the material life is totally impossible. And it is. When you go to work, yes, you have to go to work, but from morning till night you just work. Where you have a time? You don't have a time.
Isn't it Krishna also the material world of Maya? So is there also a form of surrendering to Maya that counts towards being a devotee?
Well, you say, okay, so, but then material life means you just engage yourself Just engage yourself.
Like no moral principles in the Maya. So that'd be like the bad type of like there is no
Right, yeah.
if
Yes.
there's no moral, perspectives in Maya, then you're not a devotee. Like, you can smoke and do
Yeah, that is all things. So you're not a devotee and you are not surrendered to Krishna. Because see, even is in 4 principles you have to follow when you become devotee. When you serve Krishna, your spiritual master, and then you have to follow all the rules and regulations established. Vaishnava, you are Vaishnava, you cannot eat this all non-veg, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit relationship. If you are married, then Prabhupada says you don't even look at the other women. So all this is a negative factors on your spiritual life. How can you just think of God? You spend the time in the bar, intoxication, right? You don't, how, the Krishna doesn't come in your mind.
right.
How you don't even think,
There if we're
no.
intoxicated or in that version of Maya.
Yeah. So, spiritual life, devotional life is different. Then material is Maya. The Maya, material, all this material. In Kali Yuga, what is happening, right? Kali Yuga, you just see all over. Killing, how can you kill your mother? Killing cow, you drink the milk from cow and you kill the cow. It's like you killing your mother. And how can you eat your mother? And see what is happening right now? Pandemic all over the globe, not only one place. So that's in Kali Yuga, this is, and it's not over yet. So, yes, when you become devotee, when you live your life spiritually and render devotional services, anything, you clean the temple room, you become pujari there, you get the same benefits. Any devotional service. Yes.
It said also in the Bhagavad Gita that, a pure devotee, when you reach a level of pure devotion, you tend, or at least, pure devotion, you become a Brahmin that sees basically sinful reactions, sinful people, dog eaters, and everything that basically separates the Maya from spiritual, transcendental, all the same.
That's the Maya. Don't we say that
Yeah.
Maya
Brahma
attacks?
saying he said that, a pure devotee, like he's reached the highest enlightenment, his highest potential, sees everything the same, like, Maya and the transcendental life. Like they're all the same essence, sinners, holies, dog eaters, vegetarians. So in that perspective, well, I guess there's probably not anyway, so the Maya, so if there is a separate, right, in the Maya and transcendental, when we reach that level of devotional service, I guess, is there, what's the difference then between the Maya and
Devotional service, that you are surrendering yourself, right? And then once you surrender to Krishna, you don't take, after you die, death can come anytime, you don't know. But your surrender, then it is Krishna's responsibility.
Oh, so that's it. Once you surrender, whether it's in the Maya or in the spiritual, transcendental, you're automatically Krishna conscious, or Krishna's with you.
Now, when you're saying that in Maya, right? In Maya, it can be dog eater or, okay, so first of all, how can you surrender to Krishna?
Well, that's my point, right?
Uh-huh.
And this is what Prabhupada is talking about.
Yeah.
From what I understand is that both are the same essence, the Maya and transcendental. Those are his
Right.
personal, and transcendental, which is spiritual, which is not impersonal. So right now we say like we're in the impersonal state of mind because we're in the temple.
Mm-hmm.
We're surrounded by each other's pure energy of devotional service. But when we enter into the Maya, when we leave the temple, now we're in the Maya. There's a different energy, right? Because people subconsciously.
Or when you are not in the temple, you are
Right.
outside.
You're outside, you're in the Maya.
Okay. Yeah, but still, like, when you leave the temple, don't you think about what you had good time here, you had a darshan, you had a kirtan, you had a prasada, right? That is smarana. There's 9 types of bhakti, there's Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Vandana, Pada, Sevana, Dāsī, Pujana, Sakijana, Atmaniveda, Navada Bhakti. So, when you go out, okay, Shravana Kirtan, you did Shravana Kirtan here. Then you go outside and you remember that is Smaran. You're not going to forget. You will not go home and just turn on the TV and just watch any soap opera or anything. You will start reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Isn't that the change?
Well, that's my point though. There is no changes, right?
No.
There's the Maya and transcendental.
Yeah, it depends on the person.
And so that makes sense what Prabhupada is saying that,
Yeah.
as a pure devotee,
Yeah.
you no longer see a difference. They're all the same.
So, yeah.
Sinful people and holy people are all the same. They're in the same, because that's what that's his whole point. Well, I could see you.
But according to your, no, but according to your karma,
Yeah.
you're going to get the next birth. Right? Whatever you have done, the karma wasn't good. Okay, you did this, okay, you will get the.
So we do it for Krishna.
Yes. And when you surrender devotional service, and Krishna, everything you live up to Krishna. And we all are part and parcels of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? So according to our karmas, Krishna reciprocates according to our karma. Now you might have to take the birth again. You're not going to go back to Goloka Vrindavan, back to Godhead right away. If your karma is bad, you have to come back again and go through that process. So, very nice. You are a good devotee. You have been coming here every day.
I love it here.
I know, I see that. First I said, oh, okay, let's see.
One big family from all over the world.
Yeah, exactly. Srila Prabhupada gave us this Krishna consciousness movement, this, kirtan and chanting and dancing and singing all over the world, youngsters, everywhere. It's so amazing. And what we doing? Krishna's name. And who started? Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. They say Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes. Gaya Gora. You know that bhajan? There is a bhajan. Gaya Gora Madhura Sware. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Mahapurana ki jai. And tomorrow hopefully we'll celebrate the Maha Festival. Hare Krishna, Shri Shri Radha Govinda Deva ki jai. Yeah, you can turn it. Yes.